Mario Strikers Battle League is out in certain regions right now, soon to be out everywhere. I got a lot of questions about this game, and I want to answer them here. I'll go as quick as I can. What do I think about the game? Alright, I have a huge bias, and I know that, so I'm going to be dead straight with you. My personal ranking is that this is an 8 out of 10. The reasons that it's not a full 10 out of 10 is literally because of the content. They just need more. This is a game that's quality, definitely over the current quantity. So what they have right now in the game is so fun. It's so good. And I love Mario Strikers, okay? So I come from playing the previous ones. I come from playing the first kick test demos of this one. And so again, on that level, everything that they have available is definitely 8 out of 10 or more. It's just because they have like such limited with the stages, you know, like for instance, we should have had probably stage hazards that could be turned off or turned on, of course. You know, I just think they could have done a little bit more with the stadiums. And then of course, characters. And I more look at that as a long-term thing. So actually, for me personally, like I'm okay with the number of characters and the fact that Nintendo was actually very clear, which they're usually not. Nintendo is often just so ambiguous that you don't know, but we do actually know for sure because their tweet said there will be free post-launch DLC that will include characters. It said the words including characters. And so again, there's a little bit of ambiguity, like what does that including mean? Because of course, it means for sure we'll get characters. So that's what I liked. Nintendo was very clear and specific, which they're not always. They said it will have characters. If you believe data mines, there's going to be 10 new characters over the course of however long it's going to take for the DLC. But the ambiguous part is just that, does that mean we're going to get more modes? Is there going to be actual stadiums with hazards? I would personally like a spectator mode because there is no current spectator client. And by the way, I am a shoutcaster for Pokemon Unite. I love the esports kind of scene of like spectator commentary. And so because I currently can't spectate matches, I do just want to throw out there that I would love to shoutcast any of your games if you can send them to me. Basically, send it as a Google Drive. You can join the Discord. That's going to be in the description. You can send it to me on there. You could put it in a comment, but sometimes those are spam filtered. Or if you upload it with no commentary to your YouTube channel, I can usually get it that way. So again, I would love to call some of your best matches. So that's the point, right? I think if you took my Mario Strikers bias away from it, then the game would be closer to the 7 or 6 out of 10. The best thing would have been for you to try the first kick test demo because that would have given you a chance to test this all for free. So if you have no bias towards the game, this is still a damn good game, you guys. It's just that it's lacking on the content side. Again, quality, not really quantity currently. So another question has been, who is your favorite character and why? I encourage everybody to have their own opinions and their own play styles here, okay? But the question asking me is that Rosalina actually fits my play style the most. I thought it was going to be Peach, but Peach is too high on technique for me, being low in some of the other areas. So what I prioritize is going to either be speed or strength, and then paired with good shooting. So for example, you know, if I have Peach, she doesn't really have the best strength or really the best shooting, I guess you could say, honestly. So my gear adjustments would have to be tailored towards that. But Rosalina is mostly stacked. I just needed to give her one piece of gear. I'm a bit of a minimalist in this case, and so all I really need to do is just put that turbo helmet on Rosalina and then I'm good. But I'm telling you guys, she has some strength, but her shooting is just dope. She has enough technique where even if I take some points off, everything will still be good. I just want my technique to really just kind of be average. Again, if I had like a tier list, I'm going to put strength and speed up at the very top, and then shooting is going to probably be either with those or on the next tier down. So like maybe S then A. And then I'd probably give like a C tier to passing, maybe B. You can make some stuff happen on C tier. And then technique just one below that. Nothing would be F, okay? Like all the attributes are good for their own right. And I have videos explaining those actually, so you can check out the full playlist obviously to see those. And so beyond that, a lot of people were asking about each of the different modes, like, you know, how many people can play. And so just know that on a single console, up to 8 people can actually play on the quick battle. It's the single console mode. Now, if you were doing local wireless, you can have up to 4 Nintendo Switches, so 4 consoles. 2 players would be the max per console. So that means that you can actually get up to 8 people, but it would have to be worked through 4 consoles. Hopefully that makes sense. It does seem, and I'm not positive here, but the online play, if we go in to join friends, you can obviously have a friend team up with you on your Switch as well. But if you just join friends, let's say 1 player, and then you create a room, it's still just kind of like ambiguous. Like, would they add another box right here? Because we only see 1 box that says waiting. So again, if you had like 4, I don't know at this stage. I'm so sorry. I wish I did. So remember, if it's quick battle or cup battles, you can have duplicates of Yoshi or Toad, just them, as your team captains. You can play a single player cup battle, but you can also go up to 4 players. So up to 4 can join on one Nintendo Switch, but it's always against CPUs in cup battles specifically. That mode, by by the way, is really easy to get coins. You can get 400 coins for winning the whole thing. It's like a tournament. And gear, each piece of gear costs 100 coins. So you could play cup mode twice. You'd already have 800 coins. That's a ton. You could equip a full team as long as they all don't have 4 pieces of gear on each character. But I'm just saying, like, that would get you so much already. Doesn't take that long either. So okay, this hopefully isn't too obvious, but some people were asking about the Strikers Club. It does currently say off-season. So the club basically has seasons that last for about a week, and then they have off-season for about a week once again. So right now, it's just 10 days that we are off-season. You can still play with your club, though. So just know that those are called open matches. So you would do an open match right now because we're not in a season. You can have 2 players per console, but you start that and you can join up with your club members there. And this is where I'd have to say, like, if you're really interested in the online, the PvP, maybe if you want to call it that, essentially, this I think is going to be the meat and potatoes. Like, the club mode is what you want to look at for more competitive stuff. And so ideally, Nintendo would kind of back this up. Next Level Games, Nintendo, maybe have a strong social media game about it, but like host tournaments. We got to get that spectator client, please. And so aside from that, I think maybe one other question would be, how does this compare to Mario Strikers Charged? That was the one that a lot of other people had played, whether they played both or not, but they usually asked about this one. And so Mario Strikers Charged, I would definitely encourage anyone who's played that game to come over to this one. I think it will still be fun. It's just if you are prejudging it, let's say, like, it's obviously not going to have as dark of a look. I personally feel like this game still has a little bit of grittiness to it. They made it perhaps slightly more friendly, like it's more anime style, like with those hyper strikes and stuff. But the character art, I mean, you guys have seen Waluigi, like, he looks sinister as hell, man. So yeah, I would just like really encourage you not to prejudge it. Again, the best would have been if you could play the free playtests in First Kick. The game is still very fast-paced, okay? Like, when you actually go up against somebody who's good or matches your skill level or whatever, you hardly have a second to think. Like, I swear, it gets really intense. So that makes the playstyle, from you visually, if you're used to Strikers Charged, like, it does look like it's slower paced. No, like, this is fast-paced because, again, it's like really hard when you actually fight somebody good. If you're fighting somebody garbage, then yeah, like, it might feel a little bit slower because you're just gonna wipe the floor with them. But I'm telling you, most of the time, I was fighting people that are around my skill level. And by the way, I did just want to say, computer on hard difficulty, like, that actually is difficult. Like, they beat me as many times as I beat them. I'm not the greatest player in the world, but I'm certainly not the worst, and I've had my practice with the first kicks, had my practice analyzing the game. So the point being, the hard difficulty computer, it can actually rock you. I think we'll all get to a stage, though, where we have practiced enough and we're going to be way better than the computer. But I'm just saying, when you kind of first pick this game up, or if you're like me, you've played it a few times already. So again, I don't want that to be the end-all, be-all. And of course, if you're scared, just drop the computer down to easy or normal or whatever. Totally fine. But if you're interested in seeing more, please click an end screen on screen to see some more content. And I'm going to be covering this thing like crazy. I'll be streaming it as much as I can. So please, I would love to have you join me on those. Click an end screen on screen. I'll catch you over there. And thanks for viewing.
Get down tonight. Charge that tackle right. And when I get that orb alight, we all hyper strike.